Welcome back, Tank Commanders, to a Bad Mother 888 Masterclass in the top 10 maps for sniping in World of Tank Blitz. Sniping is not camping. A good sniper can add a lot of value to the team and help you get your win rate up there where you want it to be. There are 4 key things you need to remember to be a good sniper. Number 1, use your credits to buy all the camouflage equipment that you can get for your tank. Number 2, use the bushes in the maps for added camouflage, and also use the rocks and buildings for protection. Number 3, resetting your camo is very important. If you are spotted, back up behind a rock or a building or a small hill to reset your camo. And lastly, be prepared to switch from sniper mode to brawling mode, especially if the fight is out of view range or if your team is being overrun. Okay, here we go. Number 10 on the list of the top 10 maps for sniping is the Mines map. If you're spawning on this side of the map, there are 2 main locations that are great for sniping. I'll take you to the best one right now. It's right here behind this bush next to the rock. You've got a good view of the main hill where most of the fighting takes place, as well as a view of the hill where the lighthouse is, where you typically will find 1 or 2 enemy as well. The second main spot on this side of the map is behind this bush, which gives you a nice view again of the main hill, as well as a view of the hill with the lighthouse. Moving across the map to the other half, where the other team would be spawning, I will show you the other 2 main sniping points. Of course, in every map, it's possible to snipe from anywhere as long as you have the distance between yourself and the enemy. But there are, again, going to be some very popular or successful areas, more so than others. And this is one of them. At the base of the hill with the lighthouse, you can see again the main hill, where you may find there's a bit of a traffic jam of enemy piling up to brawl with your teammates. Moving to the small hill near the spawning point, on the opposite side of the map, you've got a few rocks and a few bushes to use for camouflage and protection and resetting your camouflage if need be. This is the main spot on this side of the map for sniping. You've got a great view of the main hill and a great view of the little town to the left. Number 9 on the list of the top 10 sniping maps is Yamamoto Harbor. There are 2 main spots for sniping. If you're spawning on this side of the map, this is the key place to set up. On either side of this little shack, you've got a bush on this side to help you with your camouflage, and you can reset your camouflage by ducking back behind that shack if need be. On the other side of the map, where the opposing team would spawn, you've got almost a mirror image of the first side I spoke about. Again, a rock instead of a shack, and you've got a little bush to help out. Okay, let's talk about number 8 on the top 10 list of sniping maps. It is Oasis Palms. There are 4 or 5 main spots to snipe from on this map. If you're spawning on this side of the map, in the corner is a decent spot that gives you exposure to the entire map, a panoramic view, if you will. However, you are far from your teammates, far from a battle in case you're needed. So there is a bit of a downside to being way back in the corner. The second spot on this side is up beside the little town. There's a rock and a bush side by side, so you've got the increased camo with the bush, and you've got the rock to do some peekaboo and reset your camo if needed. Moving to the second half of the map, spawning area number 2, I will show you there were 2 or 3 main spots for sniping. Almost a mirror image of the spawning area number 1. Here again you've got a bush, a small rock, but also a building to hide behind in case you need cover. You've got a decent view of the small gully that runs the length of the map, as well as the dunes where a lot of the battles take place. Moving further back towards the perimeter of the map, you've got a small hill to park on, and once again you get a nice panoramic view of the dunes and a view of the town. And lastly, on this side of the map, there's one other area that you could possibly snipe from with some success, and that's behind this little bush. If the main battle is happening in the dune area, this little bush has got a great viewpoint to attack. Number 7 on the list of top 10 sniping maps is the Naval Frontier map. There are 3 or 4 decent sniping spots on this map, but I will show you the top 2. It is quite a big map, so you can snipe in many places, but this is probably one of the best spots. It's in the middle of the map. You've got a nice viewpoint. If you're spawning on this side of the map, you can get behind a little bush. You've got some rocks for protection, and you've got a decent view of the left side of the map and the right side, if need be. If you're spawning from the opposite side of the map, it's almost a mirror image in terms of the sniping spot that you want to focus on. Here again, you've got the bush, you've got the rocks to the right, a good view of the middle of the map where a lot of the enemy crosses over or tries to capture bases. Those are the best 2 spots on this map. Number 6 on the top 10 list is Castelia. On Castelia, there's actually a number of spots you can snipe at, but I find that there's really 2 that are most effective, and you have the best chance of not being spotted at for the longest period of time. This is number 1. If you're spawning on this side of the map, right behind this little house, you've got a great viewpoint down that end of the map, as well as a decent viewpoint of the hill with the windmill. So those are the 2 areas where most of the fighting typically takes place. You can use the little house to reset your camouflage if need be. Now the second best spot on this map, I believe, after playing thousands of games, is on the opposite side, and I'll show you as we move across the map to where the other team would be spawning. the other team would be spawning in this area. Up this little hill, you've got an excellent viewpoint of the castle, but also the area around the windmill. So that's the second great spot to be in on the number 6 map of the top 10. Number 5 on the list is Port Bay. There are a number of spots to snipe on this map, but I will show you the 2 most effective spots. Again, based on my experience playing thousands of games, these 2 spots typically are the most successful. The first one being behind this little house on a hill. You can use the house as cover to quickly back in if you're spotted, to reset your camouflage or just to protect yourself. Behind this little bush as well is pretty good because you've got a nice view down into the small valley of buildings as the enemy is coming through. You can usually pick off a couple of them before they spot you, and then you'll have to make a run for it. Now across on the other side of the map, I'll show you the other good spot to snipe at. It's up here on the small hill beside the little rock. You've got, again, a good viewpoint all the way across the map at the enemy approaching you. Number 4 on the list is Rockfield. A big map, sprawling map. There are 3 good spots for sniping on this map that I would recommend. If you're spawning on this side of the map, I'll take you to the first. Right up here, behind this bush, next to the rock, you've got a good viewpoint across the map at the enemy approaching. A good place to support your team if they're battling. You can reset your camo behind the rock and use that bush to help with your camouflage. The second spot you can use regardless of which side of the map you are spawning on. It's up the hill near base A if you're playing Supremacy. Base A would be just up here. And from this viewpoint, again, you can see the opposite side of the map quite clearly. You've got lots of rocks for protection, you've got a few bushes. You can move along this ridge from left to right to support your team if the battle is happening in the valley or at the far end. The final spot is coming up very shortly. It's really a mirror image of the first spot. Again, you've got a rock and a bush, which are very useful for sniping. Number 3 is Dead Rail. Dead Rail does have a number of options that you can use for sniping, but I will point out what I believe are the best 4. If you're spawning on this side of the map, the first one is here at this rock, which is in the center of the map on the periphery. But from here you've got a good view of the left, middle, and right side. You've got a bush, you've got a rock to hide behind. Snipers' best friends are bushes and rocks. The second spot for sniping on this map is down in the valley near the corner. Up this little hill. Again, you've got a bush, you've got a great viewpoint to see base A, flank supremacy. And you can even see up in the hills, if the team is fighting up there, you can support them. And if you get spotted, you can move back and protect yourself using the hill. And again, another bush to help with your camo once your camo is reset. Moving to the other side of the map now. I will show you two good spots if you get spawned on that side. Again, a small hill with a bush, a couple of bushes. Here again, it's almost a mirror image of the second spot I showed you on the other side. This is a great spot if you're protecting base A in supremacy, or if there's a battle in the flatlands. And you can even see a hill on the opposite side of the map. In case you need to support your team up there, you can get a few good shots in. You can reset your camo by ducking behind a small hill as well. Because you're in the corner, you have some pretty good protection. And then moving up towards the middle of the map, the rail area. Again, a mirror image of the first spot that I showed you. You've got a bush and a rock to choose from. Great view of the hill, the railway, and the valley. You can do peekaboo here. You can reset your camo. And you can get enhanced camo with the bush if needed. Number 2 on the list is Copperfield. I love sniping on this map. This is what I would call a noob identifying map. You'll typically find that noobs, they will stay up on the main hill with heavies typically, and they will fight it out up there, whereas the smarter players, the more experienced players, will move to the opposite side of the map, and they will move up to this little hill here with the house on it, and will have a turkey shoot across the map at the enemy heavy, mediums, and even lights. If you're playing this map, make sure you get at least one of your teammates to spot this side of the map. If you don't, you will get slaughtered. And I'm relying on other people not coming up to this side of the map because I love it. And last but not least, the Canal map is number 1 on the list of the top 10 maps for sniping in the World of Tank Blitz. This is by far the best map for sniping. There are a number of decent spots to do sniping. I'm going to show you the absolute best spot in the entire game in just a moment. No matter which side of the map you're spawning on, you must go to this spot if you want to snipe effectively. It's the little hill behind base A area. Go up that little hill, park yourself near the corner, and then you can look out and see a panoramic view. of, of almost the entire map. You can see all the bases You can support your team if they are capturing bases. If your team controls the area around base A, the chances of the enemy spotting you are very low. If you do get spotted, move down the map, down the hill a little bit, reset your camo in front of this rock, and then back up to where you were, and continue the damaging and the killing of the enemy. I think you'll enjoy this spot immensely like I do. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Good luck.